Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Creeps, Creatures, and Haunts.
Oh my.
In today's episode, we are going to be talking about Bigfoot in Ohio, specifically Ohio. If you've been following the podcast, it's been a little while since we've posted an actual episode. We have a couple more planned. Again, don't know how frequently we're going to be doing it, so if you like actually seeing these, let us know. It helps us know that we should be doing it more, I guess.
Yeah.
Why specifically a Bigfoot in Ohio? For one, if you're not familiar with your channel, that's where we're from.
Yeah.
We have a lot of other videos of hauntings and stuff in Ohio. So if you're just interested in paranormal in general, make sure you check those out. But also, Ohio is, I think it's 5th in the United States.
It's one of the top 5
Yeah.
states in the United States that is known for Bigfoot sightings.
Right.
Exactly. Which I was really surprised about.
Yeah, I guess I'm not. There's a couple of these, because there's a few different ones that we'll be talking about. But I feel like I hear about Bigfoot being talked a lot around here.
Yeah.
And I remember that show, Bigfoot Hunters, was that what it was called? That had Bobo, that was always trying to feed Bigfoot donuts and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did come out here, didn't they?
Yeah, I remember them being here at least once. But yeah, and me and Kim also live in the part of Ohio where I feel like is the epicenter of where all the Bigfoots are. Is there a plural for Bigfoot? Is it Bigfoots?
I didn't see any plural.
Feet.
I just, I guess just Bigfoot.
Yeah, I guess, because big feet sounds stupid.
Big feet.
Big feet.
Plethora of Bigfoot. Herd of Bigfoot. I don't know.
And something else I also found out is there's Hocking Hills, a Bigfoot festival in August 4th to August 5th. I think last year might have been the first year doing it. I have no idea if that's true. But looks like they're going to have lots of stuff, so we might make our way out to that and kind of see what's up, because that sounds fun.
Yeah, because Hocking Hills is actually one of the largest areas in Ohio that have had Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of research in the Appalachian foothills in Ohio, and specifically Hocking Hills. Lots of Bigfoot out that way.
Yeah, that's because I think that's why, that's obviously why they're having the festival. Yeah. But like I said, I don't know if there's anything. I don't think Bigfoot has a special name, because what you'll find is that Bigfoot has a lot of different names. But I think the Hocking Hills one, they just refer to him as Bigfoot mainly.
Yeah, I guess in Ohio they call him the Grass Man, but I've only ever heard people really refer to him as Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But I don't watch as many of the shows that are on and stuff like that, so I'm really not educated on the whole thing. But I just call him Bigfoot.
Yeah, the only one I ever watched was the Bigfoot Hunters one. I don't think there's any other. There's some paranormal shows where like the destinations, whatever, where sometimes they go after Bigfoot.
I think there was a Finding Bigfoot.
Well, yeah, that's the. What did I say? Isn't that the one I said?
Bigfoot Hunters. But there was a.
Oh wait, no, that was yeah. Bigfoot Hunters, was it separate? That was a separate show, right? Finding Bigfoot, I think, is the one that has.
Finding Bigfoot.
That's the one.
Mountain Monsters is kind of.
Well.
Yeah.
Mountain Monsters, I'm pretty sure. I think that's one of the mountain hillbilly people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they occasionally come across Bigfoot.
Right. Their stuff is legitimately fake, though. But yeah. Well, I think it's. Talking about Mountain Monster for a second. I'm pretty sure I think it's known that it's fake. They don't try and hide that, I believe.
Oh.
I don't know. I was watching a clip, and literally they get kidnapped by these guys and taken to a random location, and again, there's a film crew filming all of this, and they get kidnapped, and then they tell them they think it's some guy that I guess is in the Mountain Monsters lore, but then you find out it's just this guy that's basically contract them. I think it actually might be to go catch a Bigfoot. And they're all taking it seriously. It's really weird. And he's wearing the skull mask. It's insane.
Oh,
yeah, it is. The one I watched, they were in a corn maze, and there's all of a sudden some kind of cult member that came running after him and stuff. It's fake, but it's entertaining, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't even know what led to that tangent, but yeah, Bigfoot shows. Is there any that you like? Shows. Let us know. But yeah, Hocking Hills is supposed to be a pretty hotbed of them. Also, I was reading this article on Hocking Hills, and I didn't. So the different classes of Bigfoot reports. There's Class A, which is their clear sightings in a circumstance where misinterpretation or misidentification of other animals can be ruled out with greater confidence. There is Class B, are incidents where a possible Sasquatch was observed at a great distance or in poor lighting conditions, and incidents in any other circumstance that did not afford a clear view of the subject.
Okay.
And then Class C are ones that are second or third hand reports, so like a he said, she said, or stories with untraceable origins because of the high potential of inaccuracy. So it's kind of like, all right. But I mean, I guess it's the teller of the story that would be the person that's
Yeah.
kind of deciding the quality that you're getting there. So do with that information what you will.
Yeah.
But
We probably should talk about, like, if you're not familiar what Bigfoot is, maybe we should talk about, like, what he is.
yeah, well, I think we'll
Most
save.
people to-
Right, I think we'll save to the end because there's a lot of theories out there.
Okay.
Exactly, but like what Bigfoot is a big hairy creature.
Yeah, well, I got, like, some descriptions of what people think they see and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's an ape-like cryptid. That's what the cryptozoologists call him.
Ape-like cryptid.
Yes, bipedal, so he walks on 2 feet. 2 big feet that could be up to, oh, what was it? It's really big. Footprints as big as 24 inches long and 8 inches wide. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really big. Very muscular, big broad shoulders, long arms. A lot of times they say that he doesn't really look like he has a neck. Like it just kind of head, shoulders, that's it. Nothing else. Hair is usually like a dark brown, dark red, or black. And the heights vary from 6 feet to about 15 feet.
Tall boy.
He's a very tall boy. And sometimes people have said that he has glowing red or yellow eyes.
Which
But are only are you can only see them if you're shining your light at it or something like that, which is weird. But
well, I mean that's any creature's eyes, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and and supposedly he smells really bad too.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
big.
Well,
That's a big report.
in like the southeast U.S., he's actually referred to as skunk ape because of that, because he smells like a skunk.
Yeah.
I mean, same description, everything like that, but the smell is basically like rotting trash.
Right.
That's
Although
what a lot of people describe it as.
one's ever seen this like with their bare eyes though. So like more than likely they're like, oh yeah, he smells bad because someone like thought they heard something or saw something that was a Bigfoot but didn't, and then they probably smelled a skunk. Like, oh, maybe that's what the rumor. But like I also hear like wet dog, but like
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense if something is out there that big that has hair. I mean, if it's wet, I mean,
Yeah.
you'd probably smell it because
Yeah.
it's yeah.
If I get wet, I'm probably gonna smell. I mean,
This is kind of crazy too. Like so many people like absolutely refuse, and I mean I understand like people refuse to believe Bigfoot exists, but like I also feel like as far as cryptids go, he's the least monster-like. I mean he's basically just a big ape.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I mean there's big gorillas out there. Like he seems the most down to earth cryptid. So you have Mothman, which is like a weird alien with moth wings, and
Yeah.
like Jersey Devil, which is just basically a devil like
Yeah, like a dragon
thing. Yeah.
horse thing.
So I just kind of find it funny that so many people like discredit it. But I mean, it does make sense. If there is something that's that big, you think that you would like more people would have seen it. But you know, there are a lot of reports, but they've never found remains or anything too. But like,
Right.
there's a lot of things.
Like I even read an instance where somebody actually came into view of a Bigfoot, had their rifle set and ready, and did not take the shot because he felt bad for it and didn't want to kill it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Which, I mean, I understand, okay, but at the same time, it's like we still don't have all this evidence of it because of
Yeah.
that reason, is that nobody's actually captured a Bigfoot. I mean, he could have just wounded it and, like, captured it or something like that, you know? Like, he didn't have to kill it.
or just like taking, I don't know, a clear picture, but then people would just say
Yeah.
it's a hoax. The only thing that make people say that it's not a hoax is if there is like actual hard scientifically proven evidence.
Yeah.
Because I mean, especially with now day and age now, like you could have the best looking video and it could just be completely fake. So like, but Yeah, I don't know. I just find it like there's a lot of naysayers, but I also feel like Bigfoot's the most widespread. Like everyone knows what that is. Even people that
Yes.
don't care anything about the paranormal know what a Bigfoot is, especially in
Hmm.
this area. Maybe if you went
Yeah.
to like some other part of the world, or not even there's actually Bigfoot. Like there's Yeti in that, but like
There's
yeah,
Asia has Almas, Urine, and Yeti is what they're called there. Australia has the Yowie, which is a Bigfoot. So yeah, there's instances of it like all over the place, and it's kind of like very widespread. It's almost as much as like ghosts, if you think about it, because I mean,
hmm
like pretty much every country has some sort of ghost story, and it seems like maybe half of those countries also have Bigfoot stories.
I guess Hawking Harry is what they call Hawking Hills. Which probably stems from like what Harry and the Hendersons. That's the name
Yeah,
of that Bigfoot. Yeah.
yeah,
I was kind of like reading like because I guess they use that. I think it's like the official. What town is it? They kind of Logan. Yeah, Logan Daily. They kind of use that as like almost like the town's mascot. It kind of yeah.
oh wow.
Bigfoot is Hawking Hill's mascot. He said he's recognizable. He's big. He stands out when you're in the middle of the woods. Be like, well, yeah. But it was like saying like in this article and stuff that like the person that's being interviewed here was like a kid that it wasn't like I wonder like if Bigfoot's out there. It's like, oh, when we go to the woods, I wonder if we'll see deer or if we'll see Bigfoot, like kind of thing, because they're stating that they saw this so much. And I mean, Hawking Hills, if you're not aware, is like a very expansive national park.
Yes.
So I mean, there are tons of sightings, and like there's a lot of tourist parts of it, but again, it is dense and like there's a lot of parts that no one ever ventures to.
Hmm.
But I would say, considering the amount of people that go there, if there are Bigfoot there, it makes sense that they would be seen there because I mean, again, it's there's a lot of places to go, and there's a lot of people that visit there every day.
Yeah.
Um, I've only been to Hawking Hills a couple of times. I've never been there. Like,
I don't think I've actually ever been there.
yeah, it's nice. There's tons of places. Old Man's Cave is like the place that everyone talks about and
Mm.
goes. But if I was a big feet, I wouldn't probably want to go to like the most popular place. I'd probably, I don't know,
Yeah.
stick to like lower.
That's another thing that they said, that he's like kind of like the most like relaxed of like the cryptids. Like he's more than likely not gonna come and attack you unless obviously you attack him. Um Usually just kind of throws rocks and sticks and stuff like that to try to get you to like go away rather than, approach you and go ah and try to scare you. So he's kind of like, he kind of just wants to do his own little thing and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't think that anyone's ever been reported. I mean, by being attacked by a Bigfoot, though, might make
there was I've read a few things where somebody claimed
like
they
maybe
were
like
attacked.
rocks being thrown and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
rocks being thrown, a tree, like tree branches, like falling out of the sky, things like that.
right. But here's the thing: those are warning signs if it's a Bigfoot, because if you're 15, 16 foot tall, like you don't have to just be discreet about it.
Yeah, no.
So like if Bigfoot's out there and people think that is attacking, I believe that I would classify that as like basically just saying get out of here,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to look at in Hawking Hills. I guess just all over. So if you're ever driving through there, make sure you have your cell phone / cameras at the ready because
Make sure you shake it nice and good so it's nice and blurry.
yeah. Or else it wouldn't be a good Bigfoot sighting. Now let's see. So yeah, the Ohio Grassman I think is the most popular one. Is this? Nope. Where?
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see. The Ohio Grassman is also known as the Minerva Monster, which Minerva is also really close to where we are. Perry County in Ohio. The Grassman is said to be a cryptid creature greatly resembling Bigfoot. I mean, I think it is just Bigfoot. It's just like, I don't think they're separate things. It's just,
Yeah.
Some suggest it is subjective of a broader Bigfoot species, while others say it's just Ohio's one and only Bigfoot creature. I don't think one and only compared to all the other places, but there have been many different reports of its appearance. Many describe it as 5 to 10 feet tall. Well, that's 5 to 10 feet tall is not tall.
That's not that big.
Yeah, that wouldn't be that big
No.
either. Yeah, I almost always hear of him being 10 feet or more.
Yeah.
300 to 1,000 pounds also ranges. Well, I guess maybe if it's a baby Bigfoot, it could be 5 foot tall. Having a heavy odor, long black hair, and then the bright orange eyes, as this article says. While that isn't much differentiated from Bigfoot, it has earned a specific name Grassman from the large dens it supposedly makes out of grass. and from its diet. So it sleeps in grass and it eats in grass. It's so perhaps the most famous encounter with the grassman in Minerva was a series of events that was inspired multiple documentaries and online articles. According to legend, in 1978, the Caton family was terrorized by an unknown creature. Oh well, I just set him up here in Big Tag. The cryptid wiki describes how the grandchildren of Evelyn and Hal Caton ran into their home screaming about a monster they had seen outside. Going to investigate, Evelyn and Hal saw what the children had described. They claimed to have seen a giant hair-covered beast around 7 feet tall and 300 pounds by a gravel pit, pawing through some trash. Sounds like a bear. Upon seeing a beast, the Caton family fled their home. This wasn't the last time they'd encounter Orange Eyes, I guess that's what they called it. It's the other nickname for him. They were to have multiple encounters with it if the stories are to believed. Well, it could essentially stalk them at their home, looking at them through their kitchen window from nearby hills. Police at this point were also involved in the investigation, and many don't think it was a hoax. Witnessing a lot of events themselves, most interestingly, in later encounters, it was said that witnesses saw multiple grassmen simultaneously of varying sizes, supposedly confirming that there was there's more than one grassman, and that they could be deemed a social species. I guess these encounters attracted a lot of media and spawned multiple attacks and myths surrounding the grassmen. According to an article by Ed Gallant, a Canton Repository staff writer, the Caton family is bombarded with attention following the event. In that article, I feel like I've heard about this before. Hobart Caton recalled, one day there were 100 and 150 cars in my driveway, on my lawn and lining both sides of the road. The attention made the family shy away from other further publicity related to the grassmen, have since passed away. Regardless, Evelyn and Hal Caton, now deceased, stuck to their story, and others still living who claim to have witnessed the early encounters haven't altered their accounts either. Yeah, I remember hearing about this before from somewhere. But yeah, I mean, like, it sounds like these are the ones that are a little bit, you want to believe these type of stories because, like, it's a person that hasn't gained anything from the story. They've actually just been, like, tormented by it.
Yeah.
So, like, you would think at a certain point if everyone turned again, she'd be like, yeah, I made it up. But instead you continue, no, this happened, and takes it to your grave. That is a bit weird to me. I find it harder to dismiss stuff like that. But yeah, I guess if you're ever Minerva and you're like, there's nothing here to do, because there's not, you can go looking for the Ohio Grassman. I don't know, just go and look for grass. maybe he'll be there. What's another? Do you have any other places? I mean, we know there's Sprucevale. Do you have that any more than that?
There are reports of Bigfoot being sighted near me. I live near Cuyahoga Valley National Park.
Duh.
So there has been sightings out in that area, mostly around like Indigo Lake and a few other places out here. People have claimed to have seen Bigfoot walking around.
Right, yeah. I don't know if there's anything special, but yeah, because it's another, like, national park area, so...
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a lot of trees and, like, areas that people don't really go into, so it would make sense that somebody,
Oh, yeah. Cuyahoga's also very dense. I mean, it's not as big as Hocking Hills, but it's still...
Yeah.
Plenty of trees and just, land to roam around on. But and then there also is reports in Sprucevale, which is where Gretchen's Lock is. Yeah. Which Gretchen's Lock, that whole area seems to be kind of a paranormal hotbox.
Yeah. The Beaver Creek State Park has like ghosts and UFOs and Bigfoot and pretty much anything you could think of has been seen in that area.
Yeah. So and I mean that I don't even know if we've ever. I remember there's one time, and who knows if it was a Bigfoot, and this was a long time ago. This might have been before we knew you, but we were like standing there and like we kept thinking we actually were hearing like a whoop in the distance and like it sounded like something like hitting trees far away, and we joked like, was that Bigfoot? Was that Bigfoot? But like I don't know. That.
No, because we were actually walking towards Gretchen's Lock.
Mm-hmm. It was like we got almost all the way to the lock, and then the lock's like to your left as you approach it, and then there's like a big area to your right, and I think I remember it being like somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And we did hear a noise on the way there too, but then I remember like hearing quite a few things while you're at Gretchen's Lock, and I'm pretty sure we left because we're like, we don't know because we had been fucked with by people there and stuff, so like we're like, we don't know, like it was just people being weird, but
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if like seeing a Bigfoot would be cool, but I also don't know how much I'd actually enjoy that.
Yeah.
How freaked out it would be like, oh look, there he is, hi up there.
Well, I mean, as long as he wasn't like gonna attack or anything like that. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with seeing a ghost. It's like, you see it, as long as it's like not gonna like come at you or anything like that. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd kind of like to see one. Because, yeah, all I have is that, yeah, the hearing the noises and stuff like that. So it would be neat to see one.
Yeah, it would be neat to see one. I just from a distance though. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to be up close to it. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of areas, kind of all over Ohio but it is in the more of the rural areas, of course,
Yes.
that you see it a lot, and yeah, Ohio does have a lot of that though.
Yeah.
It does have
Yeah.
quite a bit. But yeah, and so like, and then there's the discussion of what exactly is Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Like we know what describes him, but where did he come from? Is he just a animal or is it more?
Yeah. Like, I've heard reports where it's just kind of like a middle, like, how like men evolved and stuff like that, from, like Cro-Magnon and things like that, that he's just kind of like in that middle area where he didn't quite evolve. I've also heard that he might be an interdimensional being.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that one.
Which is like totally opposite. Like
I don't
there's
understand.
unevolved.
I didn't really look into it, and if anyone knows, if you're watching at least on YouTube, leave in the comments. But like, why would people think he's an interdimensional being?
Because they see him and then he's gone. Like a lot of people have claimed that they see him one minute, they'll blink their eyes and he's just gone.
So is it that people think that like maybe in an alternative timeline we're like
Yeah.
just hairy people?
Yeah, and like
We're just Chewbacca's and
yeah,
we forgot how to
Wookiees.
bathe.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of Wookiees.
It's so strange. And then I know that another big one is that people think that like Bigfoot's an alien because
Yeah, that's another one too. Because again, he just kind of appears in areas and then all of a sudden he's gone. So he could be like beamed up or something to his spaceship.
which is so strange. Which I mean, I mean maybe no one's ever that close enough to see if they can talk or not. But like, because they try and say that like Bigfoot sightings and UFO sightings kind of correlate with each other.
Yeah.
There's lots of reasons that might be. I mean, one could say the reason is if there's a lot of people that are willing to think they see a Bigfoot in an area, there's probably a lot of people willing to think they see aliens.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other side of that coin is it could be something like, there's these paranormal hotspots like, Beaver Creek and that, and it's just kind of like points of energy in the earth or, something witchy like that. Like attract that kind of stuff.
It's all ball lightning.
Yeah, it's all just ball lightning in the shape of hairy ball lightning men.
Yeah, hairy ball lightning men. I did find something that was kind of neat, and that actually some indigenous cultures in North America, like Native Americans and stuff like that, have actual what they call petroglyphs, which is like kind of like hieroglyphs if you were like in Egypt or whatever, like paintings, cave paintings, just like with pictures of a big hairy man. And like some of these date like 500 to 1,000 years ago, which I think is amazing. So like I'm really curious as to what this is. Like if they're like been around that long, or maybe they are like time traveling aliens or interdimensional beings that like to just like pop in and out of different times and stuff like that and fuck with people.
Yeah. I mean, like, when you start, like, looking into, I guess we'll call it the Bigfoot lore, like, it does always kind of seem to point to that there's a little more to them than being just a animal that lives solely in the woods.
Yeah.
And, like, also, like, I feel like being an interdimensional being or an alien does help, like, when people be like, well, why haven't we found remains, or why don't we find feces or anything?
Yeah.
They can just, like, it's like, the perfect argument for the Bigfoot believers to just kind of be like, oh, well, he just goes another dimension, which just makes the opposing party be even more like, oh, okay, buddy.
He dies and he just dissolves into nothing.
Yeah.
He just disappears. Who knows?
What? Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know what I believe. I don't know for sure. 'Cause, I mean, obviously it could all just be a hoax too. I mean, like,
yeah.
Because it is crazy that we don't have any hard evidence of what's supposed to be one of the biggest creatures and all of that. I mean, again, I lean on the side of probably not, but like maybe, because again, like, nothing about it sounds super unrealistic.
Right.
It's just, why haven't we seen anything? And people have been reporting this for a long time, but I mean, because I don't know if I could get myself to jump into the camp of all this, it's an alien, which I do. I believe in aliens, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Or especially for an interdimensional being.
Yeah.
That Bigfoot's just opening up like wormholes
and like the
coming
supposed
through.
evidence besides, photography and stuff, like the Bigfoot prints and stuff like that. You don't know that somebody could have made that
Yeah.
and just walked around
Easiest
and
thing
been
in
like,
the world
yeah,
to
it's
fake.
a Bigfoot print. Also with like hair samples and stuff, they always are inconclusive.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're always inconclusive.
Always inconclusive, and they can't figure out what it is. And it's like, well, yeah, it's probably like, some animal that's out there that
But
shed some fur.
I love how the paranormal shows will do that, though, that it's inconclusive, and they advertise that word as if though it means it's unknown.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, but it's probably something that is known. It's just that it's a hair sample that's been in the middle of the woods for God knows how long.
And they couldn't get enough DNA off of it to make it into like anything identifiable. Plain and simple.
Don't be fooled, kid.
And as much as I love Josh Gates.
Yeah, they do that a lot on
that
show.
He found like quite a few different Bigfoot prints and stuff like that, and Yeti prints and things like that. But it's like, who knows? They could have been planted there by somebody.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to know. I mean, the only people that know are the people that are not going to tell. So,
right. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I would like to believe that it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, man, you watch that Finding Bigfoot show. And yeah, it's just like they don't ever get anything, those poor guys. Like they might get a heat signature that might look like remotely like something, and they just lose their shit, which I mean, isn't that different from ghost hunters because not that much happens, but like these guys are out in the woods and the environment and like the cold and stuff, and it's like, okay, and then the Bobo trying to give him donuts.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't know. I think like I said, if it is real, I probably believe it is maybe more animal, I guess. I don't know. But I would say I would like to see one, again, just from a distance. That's all, just from a distance.
I think it's like some sort of like in between kind of like hadn't quite evolved kind of thing. Like not Cro-Magnon, but like something in between like that and, modern man, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's what I just think. That, it was so far in the woods, it didn't have time to evolve because it wasn't like around any like technology and new things happening and stuff like that it just kind of kept to itself and kept that culture. Kind of like those tribes that you find in like the middle of like Africa and stuff like that like nobody has like no modern person has stepped foot into. Like they literally have like drone shots of them because they won't step in there because they're protected because they've never had any modern people come into their living space. And that's what I kind of think Bigfoots are, is that they don't want, modern people in there, and that they're happy with the way that they're living.
But that's what we think. What do you guys think? Make sure to let us know. Make sure you're liked and subscribed if you haven't done so already. And Kim's favorite part, make sure you ring the bell so you don't miss any upcoming notifications or upcoming episodes. And like I said, the Creeps, Creatures, and Haunts are always in podcast form, so if you just want to listen, make sure to check that out. And if you're listening, you can go check out the video. Thank you very much for watching and or listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.